Today is Mythology Friday. This is optional, so you do not have to stay here with me if you don't want to, but if you're interested in mythology, please stay put and we're going to be learning about some cool stories. So, something that we talked about earlier is that the ancient Romans took the religious aspects of ancient Greece and just renamed their gods and goddesses. So, for the purpose of these myths, we're going to be reading the myths with the original Greek names of the gods and goddesses. Our first story is about Persephone and Hades. Hades is the god of the underworld. I'm going to be going through a summary of the story, and then I may do funny voices for the reader's theater. All right. So, the goddess Demeter was in charge of the harvest. When Demeter was happy, the crops grew tall and the people were well fed. Demeter had a daughter named Persephone who loved picking flowers in the meadows. One day, Hades, the god of the underworld, saw Persephone and fell in love with her at first sight. Hades kidnapped Persephone and took her in his chariot along with his three-headed dog named Cerberus back down into the underworld. Locked in a room in the underworld, Persephone cried and wouldn't speak to Hades. Most importantly, she refused to eat. It was said that if you ate anything in the underworld, you could never leave. Many days passed. Eventually, unable to resist her hunger any longer, Persephone ate some pomegranate seeds. Then she became even more upset because it seemed that now she could never be rescued and would have to live in the underworld forever. Meanwhile, as Zeus flew around on Pegasus, he was concerned with what he saw. The crops were suffering because Demeter was very sad. The people would die if the crops failed. So Zeus sent Hermes, his youngest son and messenger, to talk to Hades about releasing Persephone. When Hermes found out that Persephone had eaten the pomegranate seeds, he knew that Hades wouldn't just let her go, so he offered a compromise. The deal he made was that if Persephone would marry Hades, she would live as the queen of the underworld for 6 months out of the year. However, each spring, Persephone would return to Earth and live with her mother for the other 6 months of the year. Hades, Persephone, and Demeter all agreed to this deal. Each spring, Demeter makes sure all the flowers bloom in lovely colors to greet her daughter upon her arrival. Each fall, when Persephone goes back into the underworld, Demeter misses her so much that she lets the plants die until spring, when the cycle starts again. This is the Greek story of the seasons. All right, so you can continue with me and hear my funny voices, or you can go on to the next video, or just exit out for the week. All right. So here is the Reader's Theater, which I would love to do with you guys in person, but since we can't, I am going to be using all my voices I can. The goddess Demeter was in charge of the harvest. As long as Demeter was happy, the crops grew tall and the people were well fed. Demeter had a daughter named Persephone who she loved dearly. Persephone, how many times have I told you that you need to be more responsible? I know you love picking flowers in the meadows, but do you have to go so far away to do it? You don't understand that there are dangerous people and places in this world. Mother, you don't understand that I get bored just hanging around here all day. I want to have adventures. I am an adult now. I can go wherever I want to. Right now, I want to go for a walk and enjoy the sunshine. As usual, Persephone wandered far from home. As she was walking through the meadow, Hades, the god of the underworld, saw her. While talking to her, he decided to invite her to visit the underworld with him. He didn't tell her that it was his plan to keep her there forever. So, as I was saying, it is very exciting where I live. You should definitely come down for a visit. That sounds fun. I never get to do anything interesting around here. You'll bring me back later today, right? My mother would complain if I am late for dinner again today. Sure. I'll bring you right back. Well, we better get going then. Hop on my chariot and we'll fly right down there. Wow, you weren't kidding. Your chariot did bring us down here really fast. This place sure is different from where I am from. Do you like it here? Well, it's not bad, but it's so dark. You can't see the sun from down here in the underworld. Without the sun, no flowers can grow. My favorite thing in the whole world to do is to spread around seeds in the meadows so that beautiful flowers will grow. Flowers aren't that important. We get by just fine without them. Here is your room. I'll have dinner brought to you here. Oh, wait. I don't want a room here. I can't eat dinner here either. I know the rules about the underworld. If I eat here while I'm here, I can never return home. You said you would take me right back. I want to go now. I don't remember saying that. Whatever. You are here now, so you are staying. I guess you leave me no choice but to lock you in this room until you agree to live down here as the queen of the underworld. Hermes, come here, please. What is going down there on Earth? Demeter has let all of the crops die, and the people are getting very hungry. Do you talk to Demeter as I told you to? Yes, father, I talked to Demeter. Your brother Hades decided that Demeter's daughter Persephone would make a good queen of the underworld. She is down there with him now, so Demeter is very sad. She misses her daughter, so she has let all of the plants on Earth die. We must fix this. Go tell Hades that Persephone needs to go home. Well, it isn't that easy. Persephone got hungry. She had some pomegranate seeds left in her pocket that she had been spreading around a meadow the other day. So she ate the seeds. As you know, the rule is once someone eats food while down in the underworld, they can never return back up to Earth. Darn it! I don't like that rule. Go talk to Hades. See if we can work out some sort of compromise. The deal was made. Persephone agreed to marry Hades and live as queen of the underworld for 6 months out of the year. Each spring, she returns and lives with her mother for 6 months. Demeter makes sure all the flowers bloom in lovely colors to greet her daughter. When Persephone leaves in the fall, Demeter is so sad that she lets all the plants die until the next time her daughter returns. This is the Greek story of the seasons. Now, below this lovely link is going to be a link to a show called The Mythic Warriors that had an episode on Persephone and Hades. Feel free to watch that. Voila. Thank you for joining me for Mythology Friday.